What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's Amazon original documentary review of Lucy and Desi. This is, of course, directed by Amy Poehler. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell, top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button, as well as comment below on any video that you watch, including this one. So Lucy and Desi is Amy Poehler's kind of love letter to Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, and how truly influential and truly groundbreaking the show I Love Lucy was, and how Lucille Ball changed pretty much the landscape of television and cinema for women of all ages pretty much forever from that point on, and when she became the superstar that she was. And so this documentary is in essence an all-encompassing but rather short documentary on who Lucille Ball was, how she and Desi Arnaz changed stuff, and how Lucille Ball kind of changed things for the better and forever for women in television. So the documentary comes out on the heels, of course, of Being the Ricardos, which is the Nicole Kidman, Javier Bardem film, directed by Aaron Sorkin, now has a couple Oscar nominations. And what's really kind of interesting in the dichotomy of all the situation is Amy Poehler was probably working on this documentary way longer than the film Being the Ricardos was being filmed. So it almost feels kind of a little disheartening that Amy Poehler's documentary comes out later. I know it premiered at Sundance, but it comes out later than the actual film was, because it is a very kind of hard thing to get into when you already have a movie about it, and you've probably already had documentaries about Lucille Ball. So going into this documentary, because it was directed by Amy Poehler, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance. Maybe I'll enjoy it, maybe I'll learn something different. And I will say this about her documentary: there is a lot of passion, there is a lot of drive to it. The thing that this documentary has problems with is, like a lot of documentaries in subjects that you already know about, is if you know a lot about Lucille Ball and who she was and what she represented, and Desi Arnaz and the rest of the cast, you're not really going to get much more new things out of this film, to be fairly honest, or this documentary. It doesn't really add anything new. It just gives us a lot of big name celebrities like Carol Burnett or Bette Midler or Norman Lear to kind of talk about their career with Lucille Ball, how they were influenced by Lucille Ball and how they worked beside Lucille Ball. And so therefore I think the documentary does work on that realm. But like I said, if you know everything you want to know about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, you're not really going to learn anything new here. You're just going to see a passion project by somebody that is not only very famous, Amy Poehler, but you're going to see a lot of love put in it. It's just, you're not getting anything new out of it. It doesn't make it a bad documentary in any right, because I actually did learn some stuff out of this film or this documentary. I just don't know if it really, in its hour and 45 minutes, gets a lot of what it needs to get out in the length of time that it has. And that's the unfortunate nature of what a documentary is. It's just the unfortunate situation where you really want to go in getting something really interesting, like a Ken Burns style documentary where you actually learn some stuff. And here it's very glossy, it's very toned down. There are some kind of like the bullet points, kind of the Lucille Ball for Dummies book type situation. And it does make it a little lesser than the whole, but that's kind of where I sit with this documentary. In essence, you know, I did learn a little bit, but like I said, if you're a huge fan of Lucille Ball, you already know this stuff. But I think in the end, I still think it's kind of a riveting documentary. It has some good talking head moments. It has some good background footage and some, you know, behind the scenes stuff, and it has just an overall love for who Lucille Ball was and who Desi Arnaz was and every other person that worked with Lucille Ball. And it allows these individuals to kind of have their, you know, blemishes and have their proud moments, but, you know, they weren't perfect people. They had their issues. Lucille Ball was very domineering and very straightforward with who she was, and it does show in this documentary a little bit, you know, kind of how she was. But it feels, like I said, a much more kind of toned down, much more pulled in type of documentary where not a lot of like blemishes really get out there in the open. It's more just a love letter to Lucille Ball. So I think in the nutshell, I did like the documentary, but I kind of wish Amy Poehler would have done like a 3-part documentary, really get into the nuts and bolts of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. But unfortunately, we only get an hour and 45 minutes to work with here, and I think it suffers a little bit for that reason. And like I said, if you know about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, you're not really going to learn anything new here. So overall, great documentary for people who don't know about Lucille Ball, maybe not as good for people who do know about it. So there you go. That is my take on the new Amazon Prime documentary, which is Lucy and Desi. Thank you so much for watching. In the comments below, did you watch this documentary? Do you anticipate watching this documentary? What is your overall take? All that good stuff. Otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.